A question has been asked regarding the subtle body understanding. There are within the physical form a linkage to the spirit of a living being. When you incarnate into a physical form, your subtle body, your spiritual body, becomes associated with a physical form so that you may find expression in that form. The form has a nervous system, a brain, to develop intellect so that there may be expression of your being and of all of the uniqueness of your existence. But there must be a link between the subtle form and the physical form. That link occurs when the essence, the spiritual, subtle form of a living being that exists in a non-physical realm adjoins with a physical form. That can happen at conception. It can happen later. But until it happens, there can be no living being. For there would be no soul, no Atman. So when the physical body is there, the subtle form melds into the physical form through a system of channels of association. And so the chakras, the different layers of mind, become associated with the physical form. And the nadis, the channels of energy, become associated with the physical form. They lie in the physical, the subtle existence is there. At the time of death, this subtle body separates from the physical form. And the subtle koshas remain active, though those linked to physical existence become dormant. What is this subtle body that exists beyond physical existence and incarnates into a physical form? The physical form is the outermost layer of your mind. It is the Anumaya, the food body. It is the physical body. But within that physical form, you have subtle bodies, subtle realms in which you exist. The koshas are not physical, they are mental. So there is a mental body. That mental body, when incarnated in a physical form, opens and utilizes and is merged into the channels of the nervous system and the brain, so that the mind gets expression through the brain and the nervous system. Most people think that mind is in the head, but it is also in the heart and in the gut. So the chakra system allays the different associations with the layers of mind. Those are the koshas. So what is this mental activity that goes on from life to life and returns again to physical form? It is a mental body with different layers to it. These layers are called koshas. This mental body is mind. It is all mind. Physical body, mental body, all lie within the cosmic mind of the infinite. But they are at different frequencies. You know, the Wi-Fi and the radio and the TV, all there are in the electric, there are different frequencies, is it not? They exist as waves, but at different frequencies. Likewise, the mental body of the Supreme has different frequencies. And those frequencies hold different strains of experience. These are the lokas, the different bodies of the cosmos. And likewise, these same bodies exist within you. You are not merely a physical form. And even the physical form is composed of the mental body of the Supreme. And all of the that you are is composed of this cosmic play of consciousness, this substantive nature of the universe, which plays out. And when it plays out, when it moves, we call it mind. Consciousness, awareness in motion becomes mind. That mental play is the play of the cosmos. And you are a character in that play. You believe yourself to be individual, and this is a part of the play. And so around that forms the basket of karma, all that you have been, and all the reactions held within the mind. And there becomes this bubble in the cosmic mind that is you. And you take a physical form, then you separate from that form and from that nervous system and that brain, which allow certain type of expression and the sensory organs of reception and expression. These give uh, life to you. But without them, you still exist. But you are not expressing those elements that have to do with the physical body. Yet your Atman, your soul, your existence abides until you recognize your true nature and the bubble dissolves into the ocean of truth. But before that, the cosmic mind has delved itself into all of these little expressions. In the garden of creation, you abide. When you take the physical form, there needs to be a medium between this subtler mind and the cruder vibrational frequency of the physical form. So the structure of mind exists within you. It merges into a suitable physical form that can express your different stratums of existence. If you are an undeveloped being, you will need very little expression of Mahatattva. If you are a developed being, you will need a physical form that can allow for more expression of Mahatattva. If you are a highly developed being, you may not need that physical form for the expression of Mahatattva. Or you take an advanced physical form. But that is another topic. In this subtle sphere, how do you come to meld into the physical? There is a kind of joining. So there is a subtle body and a physical body. Both are composed of the cosmic mind. But the physical form is more pliable, more oriented to action in the physical world. The subtle body is composed of elements of mind that need expression in the physical world. So the two harmonize in purpose and become one. And you think you are the form you inhabit. The chakras are a mental structure within the physical structure. Through them flows the pranas, or life force energies. Through the nadis flows this energy, this life force energy. They are subtle channels of this vital energy. Without it, the physical body would be dead. Through these channels flows the life force energy. And that energy is prana. But the microvita is the vital energy itself, not the prana in which it flows through the vayus, through the vital airs, and the nadis, the chakras. But this mental body, this bubble of mind that merges into the physical form, it contains microvita. It is alive. You are alive. But that life is contained in a subtle sphere. When it enters the physical structure, it merges with that structure, and that is life. Life exists. The life of the physical body is one life. The life of the mind is another life. They come together. What brings them together is microvita, vital life energy. The microvita flow in the prana that moves into the physical body, substantiates the subtle mental flow in the physical life. When the body dies, the life goes away, and you can see the face becomes blank. You know the person is dead. You see it in the face. Because the life force has left. There is no microvita, there is no prana. Because the soul has taken those. The Atman has moved away. And with it, the mental structure, the basket of karma, the mental form of your unique manifestation. And the vital life that you are. So this microvita allows the mental body, the breath of life, to be in the physical body. But the soul does not necessarily incarnate with the conception, or it may wait until birth. It will hang near the body that it has breathed the life force into the microvita of itself. You contain, each of you, your own unique signature. And when it goes into the physical form, the soul will remain. There is a kind of cord between. And when the soul is ready, it comes in the body. In certain cases, it even may happen after the birth, when there is resistance to merger in the body. That cord is composed of microvita. With the microvita are carried on the stream of prana. Prana is an energy. It vitalizes life. It is vital life energy, but the microvita is the it is the vehicle of that energy. You understand? In this way, the subtle body exists. The pranas, the life flow, which moves through the vital airs, exist. Without this vitality, there of life, there would be only an inanimate form, this girl cannot pronounce this word, inanimate form. It would be lifeless. So there must be this connection, and that connection comes from the microvita, and in the flow of that is the prana. Awakens the body to life. You know, when the prana is some high in a person, you see the vitalness in their skin. You see it. You meet the person. You feel the vitality they have. You say, "Oh, they have so much vitality," meaning the prana is high. When a person is lacking that vitality, you see the skin has pallor and lacks the radiance, and the body is diminished. You say the vital force is low in this person, don't you? They don't look well. And when the person is vibrant with this energy, with this prana, you almost feel it from them. You can feel the energy moving out of them because they are a powerhouse of energy. The body is vibrant because this prana is flowing well through all of the organs in the subtle uh, uh, realm, in the subtle energy channels. Now, this prana is composed of shukra, this vital energy that comes from the physical body. The shukra gives the health, gives the vitality to the prana in the physical form. This structure of life, the microvita, which carries the prana, carries the life force, melds it into the physical life force, which is from the shukra, from the creative energies in the physical body that makes the prana physical. Yes? So there is a subtle level to it and a physical level to it where it moves the physical body and brings the vitality into the physical. All right. Are there any questions about these subtle body relationships? Now is the time. All right.
Govinda, your voice was not heard. You said something?
Yeah, I was saying that, can I be heard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these structures within the astral body, within the subtle body, are within the mind. Does that mean that they're created within chitta?
Very good question. They are within the chitta of the cosmic mind. Your bubble of self is within the chitta. It is created existence. Both the subtle body and the physical body lie within the chitta. In the aham tattva lies the intention of you. But the dance of creation lies within the chitta, the actual creation, the intention of the creation, the sense that of capacity and the action of doing lie within the aham. The sense of existence lies in the mahatattva. But your consciousness is all within all of it. But your mind, your expressed existence lies within the, yeah. It is the created universe. For in the true sense, there is only the eternal one. And that notion is in the Mahatattva. I am that I am. And then in the Aham Tattva, I dream the dream of creation. And that dream is the created universe, both mental and physical. It's all mental, but it is in different wavelengths. It's all mental. The wavelength changes in the different, making different stratums to the created universe. That Paramapurusha is very creative and can operate in many spheres, in many different frequencies. Are there more questions?
So is it correct to say that the prana is the carrier for microvita, or microvita is the carrier for prana?
Microvita is the structure which carries the prana into the physical realm. The prana is in the physical realm derived from the physical as well as from the subtle. When the physical prana is high, then the subtle life force is strong. When the physical prana depletes, then the subtle life force diminishes. So there is microvita, vital life manifesting through the prana. The prana, or the prana is manifesting attaching itself to the smallest particles of life. These are not particles in the physical sense, but mental associations. That are drawn to the physical. Do you understand?
Well, I have another question about it. You know, it says in Ananda Sutram that prana results when there is this crushing force within a planetary body. If there's a balance of the five fundamental factors, and you have this crushing force, and it finds a nucleus, then the bala, or which I understand to be the mechanical energy of the crushing, gets converted to prana. That there's a liberation of prana. This sounds very similar to the idea of the liberation of microvita from matter through some force that microvita is released. Is this the same process that's in Ananda Sutram that's talking about the creation of prana? Is this the same process by which microvita are created?
Microvita are the vehicle of prana. I have said it is the structure in which the prana flows. It is the vehicle. So this life force, this vital force, it is generated in the earth, is it not?
Mhm.
The earth is generating this vital force, but it must have a vehicle. The vehicle is of prana is microvita, that which carries life. The prana is not exactly life. It is the food of life. It is the food of life. Microvita carries the life. Prana is the food of life. Without food, the life is not there. So you must have food. You must feed the life. When the prana is very high, the life force is vital. It is, you can feel it in a person, in an animal, when they are vitally alive. Because prana, the food of life, is very high. And so the life force is very strong. The microvita are much. The positive microvita are strong. You see?
Is it possible, is within a living being, do the flows of prana and microvita always flow together? They always are part and parcel of one another?
Prana is the food of life. Just as the physical food creates the shukra, which creates the prana in the physical body.
It sounds like
The food is the prana of the food sustains the physical. Then it is transmuted to sustain the prana. When the prana is high, then the life force will be there. Yes? Go on. I didn't.
it sounds like you're saying that the flow of microvita is prana, or the dynamism of microvita is prana, or the strength is that idea.
You know, you eat the food, you feel good. You don't eat, you kind of get weak. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
The prana is the food of the life. So the life, the life will become strong when there is much food.
Right.
I see. So what you're saying is that there's this, the earth is radiating a great deal of prana, but it takes a living being to take that prana as a source of energy, as a sort of food, and utilizing microvita to create life within the living being.
The 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 earth generates a great deal of life force. From this motion, which moves crude to subtle. And with it, it creates the life force vitality. But it is when that vitality manifests as a blade of grass, as a tree, as an animal or a plant, that it begins to generate prana and really feed the life force. But the life force is there in the planet itself, and it finds all of these forms to express itself. as the crude physical is transmuted to subtle, and then the subtle beings are drawn to that, and there is a melding of mental energy, of subtler frequencies with this life force. Is the life force exists in you. You sustain it. When you leave a physical body, the life force goes with you. When you enter, the life force melds with the physical life force.
Would it be accurate to say that the psychic body that is inhabiting the physical form is bringing the microvita to actualize the prana into operation within the body? It's the microvita is brought by the psychic entity.
It is not so simple as that.
Ah. Ah.
Microvita is generated through the breakdown of the physical atomic structure into subtler frequency. Remember, all is alive. Everything is alive. The universe is the living mind of the infinite. It is a matter of frequencies, like the different frequencies of shortwave and long wave and radio and magnetic fields and so on. It is a frequency that different things, if you cease to look at mental and physical universe and you imagine an entirely mental universe in different frequencies, like the different waves of the Wi-Fi or the radio waves and the so on, different waves at different frequencies. So you imagine a universe of waves of frequencies. And for one frequency of a higher frequency and a lower frequency to come together, there must be some type of binding force, something that will link them together. So the microvita, which feeds on prana, links them together. And as long as there is a great deal of food, the life force will be stable in the link between the two. And the two frequencies will flow together. They will be, though they are two frequencies, they will be in harmony, one expressing in the other. This is allowed by the linking element, which is the microvita.
Yes.
Is it making more sense to you?
I mean, for me, it's coming into focus. I'm left with a set of structures, and the structures in the subtle body exist within the mind. So we have the presence of mind within the body. Certainly, consciousness exists all over the body.
Body is made of mind. It is the outermost stratum of the mind.
Okay. But when we take away the physical body, we've taken away the solid and liquid factors at least.
That is correct.
So is the subtle body made of luminous factor and etheric factor within the periphery of the mind?
The subtle body is made of mind. Those mind find expression in the frequencies of those. There is no frequency attenuation with the liquid and solid factor unless those frequencies are brought into being. Then when those frequencies are brought into being again, then the full spectrum of frequencies exist or the in the unique bubble within the mind of the infinite. So the mind will be expressing without those frequencies until it can create again in the physical world the frequencies and inhabit the physical.
When the body dies,
The-
those subtle structures still exist. Can you have a subtle body that exists that has all of these structures, such as chakras and so forth, while there's no material body left?
It is irrelevant.
Is the subtle body like a proto structure that exists before one has the more physical, solid, liquid, gaseous structure? Almost like an architect has a drawing on the page, but the real building is not created. The structure exists, but it exists in the mind of the architect.
Yeah. And depending upon the type of physical structure, it will be more or less complex. If the structure is an amoeba, it will be very simple, isn't it?
Yes.
But if the structure is a human being, it will be more complex. So the structure depends upon how much of the mental framework can be expressed through that physical structure.
Okay.
Framework exists. If the mind, developing mind, that little bubble in the cosmic mind, is very primitive. It will not have the full structure itself. It will be drawn to some type of simple structure to express in the physical world. And as mind grows in magnitude, then the complexity of the structure grows.
And Baba, it's correct to conclude from this session the importance of pranayama, that with our mind we are able to increase the pranic flow in our physical structure.
Pranayama deals with the enhancement of air and bringing the air into the physical structure in different ways. Vital airs are not physical air. They are mental flows. The physical air is important because it does regulate mind in the body. Pranayama can be helpful if done correctly. Pranayama can even be, there are certain pranayamas that can help in certain types of healing. It has many different powerful impacts because generally when there is more vital air, physical air in the physical body, it enhances the pranic flow. Generally, not always. So pranayama is there to regulate pranic flows through the regulation of how air is taken in and exhaled. Whether what nadi is used, Ida or Pingala. So if one is dominant, you will notice you breathe through that nostril. When the other is dominant, you breathe through that nostril. So there is a natural relationship between breath, which is essential for life, and prana. When prana is high, food is high. Therefore, microvita becomes more vitalized. Air is essential to the body, and how it moves connects to the vital airs and can increase prana. Or direct prana. And therefore, mind. All right?
Thank you, Baba.
Perhaps there is some clarification.